All right, people. So a lot of the content you've been seeing on my channel, I've made like fucking months ago. But I've had a lot of feedback, and I think what I'm going to do is share a lot more old stuff. So if you don't know, I have a history and background in sales. I actually left sales. I'm trying to leave sales really fully, but I keep being pulled back. I'm going to actually be sharing some old clips, old consulting calls. I mean, I used to get paid, still do thousands an hour just to sit down with me for me to like build out sales processes, teams, systems, training closes, taking closes from 0 to 30K a month, 50K a month. Um, yeah, from scratch, literally. And this call you're gonna watch, it's gonna be a long one. This video is gonna be long. But it is you seeing me live taking a company to 100K a month in 1 hour. Um, I helped this company start from zero. Um, yeah, you'll be seeing me sit down with the offer owner, and I'll be showing you in 1 hour me taking him from about, let's say 50K hour, I can't really remember, to him hitting 100K a month in just 1 hour. And you hear me talk about offers, pricing, and objection handling as well. Yeah, this is just some old stuff. Thought it would be useful because there's a lot of guys struggling in sales. And yeah, I just why not? Why not just share some of the old stuff I used to do? Um, if you're curious about what I do now, I run an OnlyFans management agency. But like I said, I spent the last 4 years in sales at a very high level. Might make a video on my journey and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all for this one. I'll catch you guys in the actual clip.
I don't know why my Fathom doesn't work. My Fathom just stops joining my calls this week. I don't know why.
I think you can add it
There we
manually,
go.
no?
Bro, I have no idea. Do
Yeah,
you know?
I don't use that stuff, so but you can always record it too on your end. But I'll just send you the recording regardless anyway.
Yeah.
Let's crack into it. So I don't want to get lost because I was reading all that shit. I'm just gonna focus and distill it all down to at the end of the day, you want to raise your prices, right? And offer like more value to the right people. That's the end goal, right?
Yeah.
Now, in order to do that, we just need to understand what the problems they face are. Can we solve them fully and then price from there? That's it. I don't want to fucking get lost in because, bro, I was reading that shit. I was like, fucking hell, mate.
It's because I'm so deep into it, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. But I'm here to distill it all. So, um, let me share my screen so you can see.
I do have one question about just the setting process, but we'll do that at the very end.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'd love to hear how it is actually going though. But wait, let me just make sure.
But you got a super wide monitor.
Yeah, I do actually.
I can tell. I was just like, fuck. What one did you get?
It's an LG. It's an LG
Nice.
monitor. Yeah. How the fuck can I? Doesn't really matter anyway. So what I'm seeing here, currently charge 2K for 30 days, blah blah blah. Building offer ads, funnel, CRM. Okay, so we'll start off by asking you like what is the issue you're facing right now that's making you want to increase the prices?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the issue I'm facing is I get like 50% of the time,
Hmm.
I leave the call thinking they would have paid so much more. Or not,
Okay.
so much more is probably the wrong way of looking at it. But like on Friday, I had a guy literally laugh out loud when I said 2K.
Yeah,
Like literally, bro, like laughed, like what? Why you what? Like
yeah,
literally,
yeah,
I was like, I used it to my advantage because I was like, I told you, I think I make it stupidly simple for you to say yes. So like I doubled down on like I didn't waver and be like, oh no, yeah, well, like you know what I mean? I was just like, yeah,
yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
spent.
That's the price. Yeah, yeah,
But at the same time, the value that we do in the beginning. So you think about what we have, right? We have an automated client acquisition system.
Yeah.
I always say it's like a vending machine where you can put a dollar in and get four, five, six, $7 out.
Yeah.
Like that's priceless, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't put a price on that. So I know that the value for them is in the beginning of like, okay, right now they're relying on referrals. They may have trade ads in the past, or they're doing cold email. Whatever they're doing isn't working. They're not happy. So when they come through my system, I use it as credibility. Like, hey, the same process that you took to get to me today is the
Mm-hmm.
same process that we're going to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I show them like, look, I've spent this much money on ads. I've had this many calls. I've had this many clients. Like, I'm living proof that this stuff works, and we do what we do for our clients, and we practice what we preach. So
Mm.
the value is enormous, really. However, so I know that like because obviously the value is in the building of it, right? Because once they've got it, that's kind of it. You know what I mean? If you, it's like buying a car and then paying monthly to have it tuned up or like to service it. Like the value in what we do and the expenses in what we do is very heavily on the first 30 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like 2K is like, yeah, that's, realistically, it should
Like,
be,
yeah, like a price that just would sound better is like 5K, you know?
yeah,
Like the way I think about pricing almost is yes, we can price it for the value we offer, blah 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 blah, but like what feels right? Like 2K definitely is just like
yeah,
you should be in like I don't want to you should be in a third world country pricing that pricing, you know? Like
yeah. And
India,
I've, yeah,
Philippines, you know? But
uh,
like
yeah,
yeah, like comfortably I know people will, even if we don't even change the offer right now, like if you went from saying 5K, because what's the current structure you're doing? You're doing
yeah. Let me pitch it to you how I pitch it to them.
okay. I just need it in as little words as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So the way that I do it from the pitch is okay, step one, me and you are going to sit down and build out your offer strategy. I have all the data from 500 plus clients. You have the information on who you want to serve, what you want to sell. We come together and we do it in a 1 hour session. So we're both confident on that. Okay. Step two, my team then builds out the system in the next 2 weeks, and that includes the ads, the funnel, the automation, the everything that you need to automate turning that strategy into, a
Right. I don't
for
need the
example.
pitch though. I just need to know what is it costing.
Okay,
That's
right, okay.
yeah.
So cool. Been for everything. So the pricing very, very simple. The first month to get everything built and tested. So 2 weeks building, 2 weeks testing is 2K.
Hmm.
Okay. And now, once you get the confidence in the system from the testing, it's then just 1K a month to then have us manage and scale it for 90 days. At the end of that 16-week period, our mission, my selfish goal, is to have you ascend into a commission structure because you're scaling and because of the results. Okay. So that's what I do. I'm always like, I
You
show them
know,
like this is what it could be in the future.
yeah, so like I understand getting to commission. Yeah, I mean, the thing is
People
like, let's
people buy
let me
into
break
that
it
though.
down. Let me break it down, right? Because I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from. The people you're speaking to, yeah, they've been charged XYZ before and they're jaded and whatnot, but you're overcompensating. You're
Yeah, probably.
overcompensating by you're basically not getting down on one knee, you're getting down on like 100 knees, bro. Like it's like, oh, like 2K down. Like that's the mindset I can see you going into this with, which is why you're doing this, right? Because I've been in
So
this space, right?
yeah. So my theory when I started this strategy 3 months ago
Yeah.
was I need people to say yes. So what can I
Yeah.
do that's
To
going to get them
make
to say yes? And it's going to be
unreasonably.
ridiculously like if they say no, it's like, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah, and now you've got you don't need that's the thing like and I gave you that exercise about not closing like you don't need the people though that's the thing like you're
Yeah,
gonna be fine nothing's if you don't sign anyone like which
yeah.
is never gonna happen but
Yeah. No,
uh
so I think the way that I make would make sense for me is I'd have a new pricing model, and then if it was like okay, like I really want to do this, but can you work with me on the like then actually like, okay, instead of doing it like this, we could do it like that. So like not distinguishing this in a sense because if I know I can help somebody and they're like like let's say it was 5K up front,
Yeah.
and they were like, look, I just there's no way, like, and I dive deep into it, whatever, and say, cool, like I like having options where like, cool, well, we can break it up, so like da da
Yeah,
da
yeah,
da,
yeah. We'll
right?
go into that shit. Yeah, yeah, of course. But um,
I know what you mean. Like, it's
this is
definitely
just this is just
it's
too low. It's just like, um,
it is low.
how are you making any
Yeah,
money from this though? That's what I don't
just
understand.
just sheer volume, isn't it?
Just
So like,
you're getting how much you per person that comes on? Like, what are the margins like?
so I obviously I sat quite a few people, including my closers, as we spoke about. So let's say last month we did 53K. So I spent 10K on ads. I
Yeah.
gave my team, the fulfillment team, I gave, so it was like, I can't think, I gave them about 7K for fulfillment. And then like obviously you got software costs, fucking you name it. So probably like another 3K on miscellaneous, then processing fees. It's basically 50% margins it ended up being roughly. Like
Okay. But
so that's
and how many clients did you sign?
yeah, last month 19.
So, oh yeah, bro, we can just fucking triple your fucking numbers just by. That's the thing. This thing is crazy. Proper pricing, right? Let's look at it together because
But
if
this
you're
is but do you
saying
understand why I do it the way I do it? It's because like okay, I can get 19 clients.
no, no, I know, but like I'm gonna show you how not much is gonna change. Um, so are you saying you're doing 30K profit really though, right? If you so
Nah, because obviously you got the 2K for the setter roughly.
okay.
Like when they got processing fees, like things should just add up, I got
So
like
so
accounting
what are you
fees.
really left with then, personally?
For me,
Yeah.
last month it was like £15,000, which is like $20,000.
20K USD, right? So 20 over 53 is,
And
oh,
that's after I
wait,
pay myself
20K.
as well.
If you included paying yourself, what is that?
25K last month.
Okay, so let's say 25K. Now, 25K over 19 clients is an average of 1.3
Yeah.
per client profit, which, I mean, look, it's not but it's not like, well, it depends where you want to be and who you want to be, right? Like
Mm.
I can just tell you because okay, so there's many angles we can look at this, right? Each client that you're bringing on, how much revenue are they at when they start signing with you?
It vary anywhere between literally like 5K a month up to we had a guy closed last month that was doing 2 million a year. But that's rare. That's very rare.
But
The majority of people are like 5K a month up to like 30K a month, I'd say.
okay, it would be I because this is going to help confirm what I'm going to do for you is if you went through each close and got an understanding of like how much they were actually making because then
Yeah.
the price increase that I'm going to give you now is just going to feel so easy because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you
So I
know,
closed a woman last night. How much is she making? I can tell you. So there. Here we go. Is this it? Oh wait, I gotta log into it. One second.
sure.
So Sadaf is below 10K a month.
She was
She's
under
between,
10.
oh, where are you now? Anywhere from 8 to 20K a month. It fluctuates.
Okay. Yeah, so you see though, because um if you want to really make it like a no, we're gonna I'm gonna do this in several phases. So
One thing I will add, the way that I'm looking at it is it not worth just having different structures depending on actually that?
where they
Because
are. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know going into the call, like if there's like some people are below 10K a month, but I had a guy last week who I closed on Friday. He co-founded like $1 billion startup. Like he's fucking minced out his head. So like that's the guy that
Yeah,
laughed at me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "What are you doing?"
You should, but I think the base can go up too. So if I said something like, if the I mean, you can even do 3.5K initially, right? To build out and testing for the first month. Um, well, you're saying the 5K revenue profit, like what is it?
Revenue, yeah. 'Cause lots of people just don't have it. But then to be fair, I don't. If someone's like really broke, they just don't buy
They
anyway.
don't buy. Yeah, well, the people that you're saying that are closing at 5K, are they dropping 2K straight up, or like what are you doing payment plans, or what is that?
The payment plan I do for those people is like I do okay, so it's 5K for 16 weeks. I don't want your 5K right now. Or just break it up into 1.25 times four. Like a few people do that.
1.2, what the wait, okay. Let me yeah, it's a bit messy, but let's see. But
Because I
that's
then because
but
then
when
what?
does the build up?
Yeah,
Oh, I see. So what you're doing is
you're
three, four,
combining
five.
it together. Yeah, yeah. So saying it's
Oh,
5K. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because that's how they see it. It's like, oh, it's 5K for 16 weeks. And it's like, well, I don't actually want your 5K.
So
Like,
why not then do like a 16-week program for everyone, tries it at 10K.
because honestly, it's so the kind of thing that the positioning is in the market is very much everyone else is saying, hey, it's 10K, 15K, 20K, and they're guaranteeing them, like, if you don't see this, I'm gonna give you money back. Obviously, the stipulations in the agreement they
Mm.
didn't think about. But for me, it's like I don't want that weight because I know that a lot of these people are just gonna
The
end up.
funding,
I don't want that. Like, hey, you tell it like it's like no, you're paying for the value of what you're getting at each stage.
sure.
So you're not paying because I'm saying you're going to make millions of dollars. You're paying because I have something you don't, and
Yeah.
if you don't do it, you're fucked anyway, kind of thing. Like there's no logical path for you out other than this
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everyone else is going to charge you four times as much, and you know what I mean? Like I've done that. You know, I've done the 9K program, and it's just not. A lot of these people don't
Sure.
even
Well,
keep
yeah.
going.
Okay, let's keep it as this, but what I would recommend you do is run this pricing 3,500 for the first month, 1K a month to manage structure, close 10 people and see how easy it was, and then bump up by another 1K. I'll tell you why, because the big offers I sold at, uh, they always did incremental increases over time.
Yeah.
Always like I like one of the bigger companies I sold at a 15K price point. It didn't start at 15K. They started at like 3,000 or 5,000, and then after they went to seven, and then once
Yeah.
people were closing at seven too much, then they did a 10 and a 15 package, and then they just saw people bought the 15 and then just stayed at
Yeah,
15. So
I get that.
I
Yeah.
would
It's
be I would be doing, yeah, 3,500 to build out, and because I mean, yeah, it's still low, but it's broad. And then for the
but
people that, yeah, go on.
yeah. I say in this market, like the people that I'm speaking to, like every single person's been burnt. Every person's scared as fuck. So like that's
No,
why
I know, but like
you
if
know,
the thing is, you have to separate being burnt and the pricing. Being burnt is an objection to handle and a mindset to reframe. And the pricing is whether they actually have the money to afford it or not. They're two different things.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
mix the two. Because if you mix the two, you
yeah,
make less.
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like and you know, for me it's again it's very much it's a mindset thing for me. It's like oh, I'm gonna feel confident, right, than what I'm doing. One thing that I could do because yeah, I'm just trying. I think as soon as the number one thing I say on the demo call is like, all I care about is giving you clarity. Because if you're clear on what we do and how we do it, it's easier for you to make a decision. Because
Hmm.
again, I say like just yes or no. If you say no, it's completely fine. Like I do
Yeah.
not mind.
Yeah.
Like give them permission to say no. No one ever says no. Like it really pisses me off. Like I know you want to say no, just say no. And they're like, oh no, but it's like, bro, we're not doing this. Like just say no. And no one does it, bro. No one actually will just look at me in the eye and say, no, I don't want to do this,
Hmm.
even though everything else tells me. Anyway, going from tangent. So The way that I structure it in the first month is, hey, 14 days to build everything out, then 14 days of testing the system, right?
Yeah.
So I say in the 14 days, it's going to cost you $30 a day in ad spend to test it.
Hmm.
What I think could work is if I said we'll cover that ad spend,
Why?
but
$30 a day
because then it allows me to go.
in 2 weeks.
It might allow me to charge more.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, but 30 times 14 is, let's get the calculator out. 420.
Yeah, 420.
Which
I just round it
really
up and say it's
isn't,
like $500.
it's really not that much really, you know? So like maybe you bump up the price to like 4K, all five.
That's what I mean. I could bump it to
Maybe
4.
the 5K, yeah, well, let's do 4K, right? To
And
build
then
out and test, and we cover your ad spend
yeah.
fully, unlike anyone else.
But then the issue of that is I guess we do the first 2 weeks of testing of ad spend, and then like the 10% of people that don't get good results in the first testing window will be like, well, you're gonna have to keep spending money on my, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not spending
No,
money.
no,
Do you know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
because you've defined the parameters of how long this phase should be.
Mm. But I still have people going back to the fucking ad to this day that are like, it's been 30 days, we
Whose
haven't
business
closed
is
10
it though?
clients.
Whose
I know,
business
but I'm just
is
saying
it?
people, I know we handle it obviously, but I'm just saying like people just fucking, they're worms, you know, like try and get into places and
Yeah, they try wiggle, yeah, because they're testing you, bro. That's what it is.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's your business and you make the rules. So, um,
Because it's like it's just 4K, but obviously like I know the value in what we have, but I just want to make sure like obviously it's in the pitch if they see the value. So I'm wondering if I'm undervaluing it in the pitch as well, like how important that all is. Because I do kind of gloss through it and I'm like, we're going to build out your ads, your funnel, your automations, and everything that you need. And that's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if there's probably a better way to pitch that of like,
yeah, well, we can look at the pitch once.
yeah, it's okay. And I
Uh,
just, there's so many things that I'm like looking at.
yeah,
So,
it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So,
um,
let me
but
do.
is it also like a matter of like maybe 16 weeks is too long? Maybe we do.
Well, look, like at the end of the day, right? You're solving a problem, and however you can solve it best is what you should do. If you find 16 weeks is enough, you stay there. If you can solve the problem faster, why make it 16 weeks?
Yeah, I might make it 90 days because I could even make it 60 days. But then I'm just
Also,
worried if it's six.
what
I'm worried if it's 60 days, then people will be like,
for
it's been
you,
60 days.
don't worry about
Yeah.
what people, because bro, at the end of the day, you just have to test. Stop being afraid of failing. Like, who cares?
Yeah. I'm just thinking out
You
loud. Yeah.
fail,
So,
and then you just go back to what was working before. Simple. It takes one day to do. So the question I'm asking you now is, how long is required for you to actually guarantee results? It doesn't have to be guaranteed, but for you to actually deliver the outcome that you're saying you can do.
so that's why in the pitch I don't focus on hey, you're gonna make loads of money. It's like hey, I'm gonna get the system to get you qualified leads and appointments,
And
right?
how long does that take?
The first 30 days I have like if I went through my results with all our active clients yesterday and my account manager, 90% of people in the first 2 weeks get qualified leads and appointments. There's always 10% that like, oh,
So
they're
why
fucking.
do you need to do it longer than 16 weeks then?
I don't know. I'm thinking of doing it less than
Less,
16 weeks.
sorry. Yeah, well, 8
Do you mean
weeks.
why do I need to do it? Well, I don't. I think it's just something I just thought if I could build it out like, hey, this is a 16-week program, it's 5K, but you can pay, you can cancel at any time, then people like buy into that because they're like, oh yeah, thank God I can have access to something I don't actually have to use if I don't want to,
Bro, I don't know
right?
why I'm just having the biggest headache. I'm just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, let's make it simple. Like,
I know. For me, I know
um,
what you mean, but it's more so for like the friction of when people get to the end and they're like, it's been 30 days,
remove
none of
that
the leads,
fucking
but
fear, bro. Like,
yeah.
fuck, man. Like, come on, man. Like, really, really.
So. And obviously the positioning in my mind again is like I go heavy on, hey, we have some clients that are spending 50K a month on ads, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I make my money with those clients. They pay us 10K a month and beyond. Right now, you do not have 50K a month to spend on ads, and if you did, you'd be an idiot to spend it. Now, the truth is, you need a system that's going to actually be repeatable and consistable, have consistency of actually getting you qualified appointments with people that want to buy your stuff, so you can then spend more based on the money you make from it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, regardless of what you do, whether it's with me, yourself, or someone else, you need that system to be built. You need that strategy to be designed so that you can actually achieve this goal of having a vending machine that you can put a dollar in and get four, five, $6 out.
Hmm.
That's why in the first month, our focus is on building everything out in the first 2 weeks and then testing at a very small budget to prove to you and give you the confidence that this system is producing the right opportunities for your business.
Mm.
And then obviously once you have the confidence, we then focus on scaling through helping you with your sales process or helping you hire sales reps, etc., etc.
Hmm.
Because you have the system. Now it's just how much do you want to go? How far do you want to scale? Right? So then in that mindset, when I say it like that, it's like, oh, cool. So that's why the first 30 days is more expensive. And then if they choose to retain and choose to keep using our system, it's all going to be based on how much they're scaling, right? So if they're just spending a
Yeah,
couple
which is
grand,
why commission only makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
But people buy into that because they're like, yeah, I'm
that's
looking for a
fine. Yeah,
partner. I'm
I'm not
looking,
going to change that. I'm not going to change that. Um, but are you happy with this so far? Like, I recommend, I think the goal is to make it like a 5K product at the end of
yeah.
the day, but I
You
want you to test
you
pricing.
know that like there's two kind of obstacles when I'm doing the pricing and the pitch, and that's the testing ad spend, and it's also the cost for them to hire a spokesperson. So if I remove both of those obstacles in their brain of like
Yeah,
of that,
then it's easy.
then it's easier to
It's
sell.
less no's as well. So how much is a spokesperson? Spokesperson?
A spokesperson, like a UGC creator, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. You
checked
can
this
find
yesterday
on
with
fucking
someone.
Fiverr, right? Like I
Yeah, so we just use it on Fiverr. So the cheapest one for an ad, I mean, I don't know how much. Let me
like
just
50
get
pounds, bro. I'm pretty sure. No, it's cheap.
an ad is like £80, and then you got I don't know how many words is in a VSL. Let me see. Just find someone's VSL script and then put it in quickly. Uh, excuse me. Let's see. So a VSL roughly like 500 words, but double the price. So this is like the cheapest one that we use. So if we think 500 plus 250, so it's like 740. It's about $200 probably for the
Let's
spokesperson.
say 300. So now your costs have gone up to 720 plus 720.
Yeah, I'd probably even round up to $500 because Facebook does like to spend an extra percentage on
Okay,
of your
cool, cool,
ads.
cool. So yeah. So now we're looking at 800 in increased costs.
Yeah, currently the client is obviously the client doesn't have to hire a spokesperson.
Now,
They
if
can
you
just
didn't
record themselves.
increase your prices, you've just slashed your profit by fucking half.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even
So
more than half. So that's why then you can probably price this at 5K, bro. Um,
or do I? Because then, so what I'm thinking. So let's just say, okay, look. So in the first 30 days, obviously we're building everything out, right? We're paying for UGC creators to come in or like a professional spokesperson to record the content for your funnel and your ads. We're editing the content. We're doing everything. You literally do nothing, right? You just have to approve the process along the way.
hmm.
Okay. And we're also going to even front the first $500 of testing on the ads.
Hmm.
So there's no additional cost. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way that we do that for that first month for getting absolutely everything built is just $5,000. Okay. Now once it is built, then we go into da, 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 da. But but then obviously the negative to that is I don't want to then take their 5K and then give them back $500. It kind of just is a weird thing to do. So do I then frame it as like it's 4,500.
No, no,
Um,
no, no, bro. 5K for everything. That includes us setting up all the XYZ, the team doing everything, getting it all ready, and also the ad spend so that you don't actually have to do anything. and we can just take this off your plate.
But then we've got to put our card on their ad account, which is probably something I'd never want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Well, okay, then just say it's fine. You can once they've, um, it's fine. You can bill them for 4,500 and say that the 500 is for the ad spend, which will come from your card. Just get them
Okay.
to say yes first. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, it's 5K for absolutely everything. And then the natural thing is like, what happens if it doesn't work? That's just like,
Well,
why would it? Why would it not work? Right? Like,
you know
why do you
what?
actually think this wouldn't work? Yeah. I was like, and also like, the way I frame it is like, look, the one thing that's definitely going to happen is you're not going to get anywhere near to your goal if you don't make any changes,
Mhm.
right? So what's more risky, staying where you are or actually taking a step forward and doing something that you believe in, right? So I like frame it like that, and then if they're like, yeah, but I want to guarantee that if it doesn't work, get my money back. I'd say, look, I don't offer a guarantee. I'm not going to dance around it. If you want, I can charge you 15K and guarantee you something, but we don't want to go down that path. It's not fair. It's not a good relationship to have. That 5K is going to get you a system that is going to be like a vending machine. We put a dollar in and get four, five, six, $7 out, right? How much is that worth to you, realistically? Because I know I've charged a lot more for the same thing, and I don't want to charge you 15K today because I know that it's not going to be easy for you to say yes. And if that 5K is difficult for you to say yes, then maybe we shouldn't be doing this, right? I'd probably say something like that. And then they'd be like, and then if they push themselves away, I guess that's what it is. I said, look, the best thing I can do is I can break up that 5K into two payments and do 2,500. And then after it's built, we do another 2,500. Um, I don't know. I probably have to play around with it, but that's probably what I'd do.
Yes, I mean
I
the
know,
splitting of the 2,500 is fine, but yeah, at the end of the day, that's a fair objection, and so you just
yeah, so it's not about. So when you think of like a fair objection like that, because that is the most common objection I
yeah. So
get.
it's like okay, cool. You're looking for a guarantee, like can I ask like where does that come from, or what's the reason for that, just so I understand. So I'm never going to handle an objection unless I understand the thought process that's causing them to say that,
And they'd be
right?
like, I've tried this stuff before, I've been burnt in the past. I just want to make sure that I'm investing something that actually works.
Yeah, well, let's
I
break that
don't.
down. When you say you've tried something like this before, what did you actually do, right?
Yeah, I hired someone very similar to you guys to, build out some systems on ads, and I just didn't get anything. I didn't get any leads. I didn't get any. I got some leads. I just didn't close any clients, and it was just left me feeling really frustrated. So
Okay, and with all due respect, because I've sat in this chair quite a lot, and a lot of people have tried things before. What specifically was it though? Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be recommending you to do the exact same thing you've done before, because if not, it's just not going to work, right? So like, what did you actually do?
yeah, that's fair. I had a team that built me out like a webinar strategy of ads, and I got some people show up, and no one ended up buying my program. Yeah, it's just it just wasn't just didn't do what they said it would do on the tin,
Well,
right? So
what do you think was missing though? Because at the end of the day, getting results in business is not magic, right? Like
yeah,
you need, first of all, this is what's required. A problem to solve and people with that problem, right? And that's it. And your ability to communicate that you can solve it pretty quickly. So, which one of those was missing from you actually getting the results that you need?
say that again. I didn't quite catch
Well, let's
that.
break it down, right? In order for you to get the results you're looking for,
Yeah.
you need a few things. A problem that you can solve, people with that problem, number two, and the ability to speak to them and get them to actually work with you. Those are the three things you need. That's where
hmm
results come from, right?
hmm
So if you have all those three things, is there any reason why you would not be able to succeed?
Yeah.
So what of these three was missing before that's causing you to be apprehensive about getting the help that you actually need?
Yeah, it's definitely the right people.
The
The
right
people I
people,
yeah, the people I was
right?
speaking to, they weren't qualified. Whatever.
And when you say they were not qualified, like what did that look like?
They just didn't have you just didn't have any money. Like you didn't have any money to actually buy my stuff.
Right. And so that comes down to the targeting that your old company were using. Now, let me ask you this. Did you have any conversation with them to change that?
Yeah, they promised me that it would change and that they tried different things, and ultimately nothing did change, and it just ended up being a massive mess. So that's why I'm a bit hesitant now.
Okay, but something still within you is making you be here today. Why is that?
Yeah, because I know that I need something that does work. I just want to. People say this all the time, like I just want to make sure I can find a person I actually believe in, and that actually I believe can help me.
And so what have you seen from us that makes you feel like we're the ones that can do that for you?
I mean, look, I've obviously seen the testimonials and the content. I've seen your ad a lot. I know that I see your results, so I know that you have something that fundamentally works. I'm just not sure if it's going to work for me, and I mean, I hope it does, right? I hope it does, but I don't want to. I'm just a bit scared that it won't, right?
And if it doesn't, what happens then?
Then I'm back to square one, feeling frustrated and pissed off.
Well, I'll challenge you there though, right? Because this is the beauty of experiences, right? They all teach you what you need moving forward in order to succeed, right? Like your experience in the past has shown you that you actually need a proper team that understands how to actually deliver results consistently and target the right people. That's the piece you're missing.
Mm,
Now, from what we've gone through today, I understand you've not done it before, but listen, in order to get results that you've never got before, you have to do something different,
yeah.
right? So, looking pragmatically on what we've covered, do you feel like what part of this do you feel would make you target the wrong people, given our experience and our history?
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, we're here, right? So I do believe you guys have the
Well,
answer, but
I want
I'm
you to
not.
answer the question specifically, though. Like, what part from the process do you feel is going to cause you to speak to the wrong people? Like, let's look at that.
No, your process seems good. So I
So
don't.
is there any
Yeah.
part that makes you feel like you're going to speak to the wrong people?
The only objection I have with that is that I'm not too sure if Facebook ads or Instagram ads is something that actually gets B2B leads and shit like that, and it's just like,
Well, okay, let's take a step back though, because now that's a completely different discussion, right?
yeah, yeah. But then in that moment, I say, uh, I'm a B2B offer owner and you're a business owner.
Yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah. You can say that,
know
but
what I
also
mean?
it's like that's a completely different
Yeah,
discussion.
but that
You
people
don't
do
even
that though,
believe.
right?
No, I know, but that's that's what I would be saying in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
objection.
It's just like,
It's
well,
like
okay, what
it's like, whoa, okay, but I mean, that's not even now this is the real issue. It's not about whether what we do works, it's whether you even believe that
in the system?
in the
Yeah.
system and Facebook in the first place. Well, let me tell you this, or let me ask you this, right? Does every single human being use like social media of some sort? Whether
Most people
that's
do, yeah.
most people do, right? And your goal in business is to reach X amount a month, right?
Hmm.
So you don't need everybody in the whole world to buy your program, do you?
No.
You need a small subset that actually have the desire to actually work with you, right?
Hmm.
Now, knowing that Facebook has 9 billion users, right? Of which millions are on in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Is there not a chance that you can actually have at least 30 to 50 people that can actually have a business and want to work with you out of that million?
Yeah.
So why do you feel then, knowing this, that Facebook is just not going to have the people that you know have Facebook in the first place? Doesn't make sense, right?
Mm.
See, and don't get me wrong, I understand where you're coming from, but you see, the thought process that you're using shows me that you are in a state of fear. And unfortunately, fear clouds your perception, right? The decisions
Yeah.
that we take come from how we perceive things. And because you have had that bad experience before, it is causing you to look at the present in a different way, right? And naturally, if you decide to take an action from that perspective, which is, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm too scared, blah, blah, it's going to keep you in the same position that you've always been in. Because
Mm.
right now you're not seeing straight. It's almost like saying, I'm never going to ever hop in the car again because I saw someone down the road hit a tree. They just graze the tree. Oh no, I'm cars are bad now. You're gonna speak to that person and say, listen, don't be silly, wake up. That incident is completely different from you hopping in the car tomorrow. And all the
Yeah.
hundreds of people that drive around the world and actually have success driving, right?
Yeah.
But now you understand that. Now the question then becomes, how much longer are you going to allow that past experience to cloud and rob you of the future success that you want to have?
Mm.
How much longer are you going to allow that to happen? Because that's what's going on right now.
Yeah. And then in that moment, people tend to just be like, yeah, fuck it, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Like, because something clicks in their head. It happens to me quite a lot where it's just like, I think they're out the door and then I say something and they're like, okay, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah,
I,
and at the end of the day, like if I had to simplify that analogy, like it's just fear of the past, bad experiences, reframe the past experiences as lessons, pick an analogy where you've had a bad experience in the past and you've overcome it, liken it to the current situation, and then just ask them how much longer do you want to keep the past
yeah.
holding you back from the future that you want to have? Simple as.
Yeah.
I just decided to go down the whole technical route of what's missing, what do you need, so that I can just remove any sort of bullshit
Yeah.
that, oh, maybe you don't have the right systems in place or whatever, you know?
I do find it quite amusing though when people have that outlook because it's like, surely you know that running ads work, right? Like surely that's not something you actually are doubting because
Yeah.
if you look around you, that's all everywhere. Like you're either a massive influencer and have loads of followers and you have a cult-like following on there, or you run ads. Like they're the only real two options
Hmm.
to get to where you want to go. Like
Yeah.
so, if you want to go and post it on content and hopefully get to a point, do that. But if you want to get there fast and you want to actually get predictability sooner, you have ads is really the only other option, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I appreciate going through that. I mean, if we look at the 4K, so let's just say I just didn't. So let's say I changed it to 4K for the first month,
Hmm.
but did we say 4K or we say 5K?
I said five if you're including the spokesperson, but even if you did four, that is
Still,
you're doing that's still 2K increase minus 800, 1,200. So you're making an extra 2,500 per client, which then would take your profit to uh
yes, I don't think that I'll probably obviously if I charge 4K, I'd be very surprised if I don't care. Like, I'd actually rather double my prices and get half the amount of clients.
yeah.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
mean, you double
Because
your profit instantly from what we're talking about right now.
yeah.
4K
But
or
so what?
5K, whichever one you want to choose.
But so I might say, look, to get everything built, and obviously, so I mean, like I need to find a better way of emphasizing like the actual extent. Like we do everything, right? You know what it's like. We strategize, we build everything, we build out the CRM, we write the scripts, we write the ad copy, we do everything. We build out all the tech, all the automations, all of the the stuff that no one thinks about, and like that takes a lot of resource. That takes a massive effort, right?
Hmm.
Like that isn't just, hey, we're going to go and copy and paste this ad. It's like, no, we're doing everything custom to you, custom to that specific avatar, that specific service. And it's obviously everything's written by hand. It's not a copy and paste formula.
Hmm.
Like I have a large team of people that go through that process to make sure it's perfect. So
Hmm.
that building step, which is so important, is where the magic is obviously created. And then we do the testing afterwards to show you, rather than just being like, trust the process, go and spend loads of money on this thing. It's like, let's prove it, right? Let's get you leads and appointments to prove to you that yes, this stuff actually works. And then that gives you the confidence to then continue to work on it. So like in that moment of like explaining it, so like if I said to somebody like, hey, so that first month is $5,000. Okay.
Hmm.
What that also covers is us to obviously go and build everything out to connect everything. There's no additional cost. So we're paying for the first 2 weeks of testing on the ads, which is $500. We're also paying for a spokesperson to come in and be the face of your brand, which is another $500. We're also going in and letting everything up. Like we're over delivering on purpose so that you're not being. I don't know. Again, I'm losing my focus. I need to almost like practice this. But it's, do you know what I mean? So then it's like cool.
Yeah, I
And if
mean, at the end of the day, just say, listen, like, if you're working with us, I don't want you to be worried about this software, that software, this ad cost, that ad costs, all the
yeah,
hidden things that no one else tells you, because I'm sure you're a smart guy, you've worked with people before, you know that there's always fine print missed out, and I don't want that to happen with you. So in order for us to make sure that we can put you in the best position to have the success you're looking for without worrying about any of that shit, it's only 5K down, and that's a one-time payment, and it covers you completely for everything for the first 30 days. So your team, our team will build out everything, get you up and running, do all the testing to get you to a position where you are consistently profitable, and then you can decide how much you want to actually spend on ads to scale you to 100K a month. Because right now you don't even have any predictable system to actually get long-term results. It's almost like if
yeah,
someone said, "Hey, tomorrow, go make 100K a month in your business," you can't because you don't have the systems built out. So what we're going to do through this 30 days process is literally build that for you without you having to worry about any additional cost at all. Does that make sense?
yeah. And then so and then obviously if they agree to that, then I say cool. So what I'm gonna do, just to make life super easy, I'm only gonna try. I'm gonna send you an invoice for 4,500, so I don't have to then just send you the $500 back for the ads.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, just say the first invoice is 4,500, and then we'll sort out the other 500 once the ads are ready to start. Don't don't make it any longer than it needs to be, because that's when you're gonna have issues, bro. Like just be like, okay, cool. The first invoice is just 4,500. We'll talk about the remaining 500 once we're ready to actually start launching the ads. That's all you need to say, bro. Literally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, obviously, with that, with looking at that as well, trying to think again. It's if I can simply, clearly, and it's all about being simple, right? It's what I've noticed is like, it is the issues like, oh, what about this cost, or what about how much? Like that's the obstacle that gets in the way.
Okay, then we'll
Now,
do the 500 in 2 weeks once we're ready to launch then.
no, I'm not objecting what you're saying. I'm
Okay.
thinking out loud.
Okay, sure.
Um, so, but the other thing that I know of, like looking at my clients, is in that first month, everyone gets leads and appointments. Like there's 10% of people that, all right, it might take an additional week because something happened, like their ad stopped working, whatever, right? But
But now you've got the extra
realistically,
profit to handle them extra week if needed, right?
yeah, exactly. But what I'm also saying, I'm not that again is not my point. My point is
Mm.
it's after the first 30 days. Like there's so many people that there's someone getting $10 appointments, right? She's booking 10 calls a week at $30 a day in ad spend. She can't
Mm.
close to save her fucking life, right?
Okay, so
So,
then it's like,
so the problem quickly changes from I need leads and appointments to I cannot close,
yeah, so then you
right?
can have a second program which you sell them after.
Do you think, or do you think it's more like because
You
what
can
kind of
mention you can mention it. You can be like, listen, that's what we're gonna do to start off with. We have other sort of support systems and packages like sales support and XYZ, but we can talk about that at a later stage. Right now, you need the systems in place to actually scale, right? So let's do this first, and we can help you scale from there. So you started the seed. So now, when they have issues, it's like, oh, okay, you're not closing. Okay, look, okay, so we can definitely help you with that. We actually just launched one of our new sales training programs where we go through sales and blah blah blah, and everything you want to offer, and that's a additional like 4 or 5K to help you like fix this once and for all.
is it because then
Because
that
think
goes
about it, right?
against
You
yeah.
probably are thinking, okay, let's do everything up front and solve their issues at one end. Yes, that is, I like that too, but we have to think about who are you speaking to? Like you're speaking to people that probably don't have 15K to drop down in one go. That would be, and you're worried about fear objections anyway. So like, why would you?
But
Yeah.
but no, but then so my thing is like after the first 30 days, the attention quickly turns into focusing on your sales process and helping you with that. So like
Yeah.
that's in my mind like why they'll continue to pay is because they need the additional support of like but then it's
Okay,
like
so then why don't you then increase the retainer and offer the sales for support then?
I'm just trying to think in clients I've got now, if I went to them and said, hey, I know that you're struggling with sales, I can come in and build out like your custom sales script Or this is the other way of looking at it. Do
Mhm.
I then do a 60-day program? Okay, 60-day program where I say, okay, 2 weeks of building, 2 weeks of like two 30 days of building. Like that includes obviously building everything out, but also building your custom sales script, everything. Like nurturing assets, like everything they need. And then we do 30 days of testing.
Um, the
And then he
thing
said,
is,
okay, like
though,
it's
the
6K.
thing
But
is,
like,
I think you would have to test it because it's like you see, they don't have in the beginning the
sales
understanding of a
problem.
future exactly, you
This is
know.
what fucking pisses me off because
But
I know they have it, but they don't know they have.
don't be sad though because that's how a lot of people make a shit ton of money. For
Yeah, solve
example,
one
like
problem at
in
a time.
exactly like for example in seventh level, the top rep that's probably going to do 100K in commission, so he's selling like $1 million in revenue. His whole thing is drip feeding people with value and then upselling them every single fucking second. That's how he's able to. He's gonna be. He's super young. He started
Is
around the same
it
time I did,
is it
and
the Irish guy?
yeah, bro. He's a fucking killer, bro. Like he's a
The
fucking killer.
JP something.
JP, yeah, JP's a killer.
Yeah, yeah. I seen
And
him on Instagram, and I think Bill says that he built him up or some shit.
he didn't, but
Yeah,
yeah, Bill just chats shit basically. But
yeah.
yeah,
You see,
I was with him and he was getting good. Like first
what? So
first
was it
month,
just?
yeah.
Yeah, shit. First month, shit.
First month was not bad. No, he was good the first month. Like I think the first like 2, 3 weeks I was selling more than him, but then after that he just fucking took off.
What?
He put in the hours and just put in. Yeah, but he also is a smart guy. Like he's thinking in terms of systems and maximizing upsells. He doesn't really um, his upsells is the reason why he's making as much as he is. Um, and
Yeah.
he's only selling the problems as they come. Not, oh, you're gonna have an issue with fucking identity framing and sales. No, you just don't understand the objections right now. Let me pitch you this program that's gonna solve that. Oh, okay, you need more. You need weekly role plays. Okay, this is the perfect one for you. Let's go. 5K down, you know?
So i- is that not? So yeah, this is kind of like then going back a step, not back a step, as in like it's changing the way that I would sell it.
Hmm.
So like what you're saying is basically I should sell them just simply on, hey, you need the system built. Let's get you built. Let's get the system built, improved, and then let's talk again in 30 days, depending on where you want to go from there.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, hey, it's a 16-week fucking thing.
No, because I'm not against either, but I just feel
I know
that
what you mean. It's more of a natural upsell of like, hey. So if I
yeah,
was like, but then do
I'm
I then? Yeah.
I'm not against either, but
But
you
what
have to test. I would recommend testing the selling later first because it means less changes up front.
should you simply change the price?
What do you mean? Yeah, but this price that we're talking about include, front ad spend per
Do
person.
you
That's
do
easy.
you do you think it's better if I did it in incremental? So if I went, for example, right now it's 2K, if I just went to 3K.
No,
I
no,
feel
no.
like
Do four
no.
or five. Four first.
So I do 4K. Do I
Yeah.
include the spokesperson cost?
Yeah. You can do that because even at 4K minus 800, that's 3,200. You were pitching at 2K before. That's an extra 1,200 for you. That's 2,500 per client. And if you're able to close 19, that is
Yeah, I mean I've only closed six this month
47.
so
That's
far.
40K profit plus for you.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
juicy.
and to be honest, bro, if I can do 25K profit a month for myself, like I'm happy as fuck. Like
Bro,
that's
yeah. Well, the thing is, you're on a fucking cash machine fucking business right there, mate. Like, you can milk
that's
that
what I
shit.
mean. And I never like every time I haven't every other time where I've had closers and fucking everything, like it's just been
It's just
draining
been
the
shit.
profit.
Right.
Yeah. So like I'm happy. I've never been happier to take the sales calls.
I wonder if
What
there's a way to fucking automate a lot of this shit, though, without needing the closers.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, is there a way to, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, bro. Like, how can you, I mean, how can you achieve the same thing without needing a closer?
Hmm.
That would be an interesting question. Because you said you let go of What's her name?
Who?
You let go of a closer, you said.
Oh, Scott. Yeah, he's fucking awful.
Scott.
Yeah, he was awful, bro. He's
When did
actually
you
so bad.
when did you let go of him?
Beginning of February when I
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
got Bill. Yeah,
Where did you find
he
him?
just through a guy. Like I think you know the guy that I know. I've forgotten his name. Tall guy from Manchester. Fucking worked with Jordan Platten, selling for him for a bit, like a year ago.
Is he Dustin or something or
Oh, I can't remember his name. You know who it is. I know you know him because he was in fucking. He's been at an event with you at Bill's event in fucking wherever it was in America. Tall guy.
Oh shit. Let me think.
Tall fucking guy, like swept over brown hair. What's his name?
Christian.
No, no. He's from Manchester, I'm pretty sure.
Manchester. Oh, Joe Vaughan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Joe Vaughan recommended him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if Joe Vaughan's good myself, to be honest. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's all good. So no, but the thing is as well, um, yeah, I think I need to hit like crystal clear on like the value. Because obviously if I have someone coming to me, it's like, okay, I'm making less than 10K a month.
mhm.
Like obviously those people maybe so in my mind it's like if I had two pricing structures, one for people that are less than 10K a month and one that were above, I probably would
Yeah. So
do.
this is for, but no, but this is for below 10K, and then above. All you can do, bro, is if they're above, you can fucking add in the sales shit if you really want to. Above 10K, whatever, you price it at 7K. Or no, you can do 6K or 7K. Same thing plus sales build out.
Yeah. I could one thing that we've never obviously like the easiest thing to guarantee. I don't love guarantees, but I was also thinking this earlier because people just what love. You know, if you have a guarantee, it does make it easier, right? So
Right.
if I said to somebody, for example, like, look, I'd hate doing guarantee. I don't want to give you a guarantee, but I can sense there's some fears. So what I will guarantee you is, if you do not get a single opportunity in the first 30 days, I'll give all your money back. If you do not get a single person land in your sales pipeline, you get a single lead
I don't
in
think
the
there's
first.
anything to say that though, bro, because I mean, with your sales process right now,
Yeah.
doing evaluation of options, you don't need to deal with any of this gimmicky bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I don't. I fucking guarantees more than anything in
Yeah,
the
like
world.
I don't, I'm in a very clouded market myself. And I remember when I started without really understanding how to do like technical sales, I'd always be asked for guarantees and shit like that. But now I've never had to never ever ever deal with that because it's like the value I'm offering them is very clearly different to what they've tried before. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't.
But the biggest value that I can say to people is like, look, I'm the owner. I've been doing this 10 years.
Mm,
I've been where you are personally, and
yeah.
I'm the one that's going to be in the trenches of you when you do this thing. Like, not
Yeah.
my team, not a fucking VA from the foot.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a
Yeah,
huge
like,
sell point. That's a
so I
huge
say
sell
to
point.
people, like, hey, I normally charge $1,000 for an hour of my time.
Yeah.
You're going to have unlimited access to me through WhatsApp, through Slack, for as long as we partner together.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? I said like, and I think that's probably quite a lot of like, hey, a lot of people say I like this because you're the owner. I like this because I trust you. I can tell that you know what you're doing.
yeah.
But it's like if I for example say look, so the first 30 days, everything to get built out, it's just $4,000. We cover the cost of everything, including the ads, by the way, for the first test 30 days. Then at the end of the 30 days, you have a choice, depending if you want to keep it in-house, you want to continue using our team, right? And then I could even just say, look, we'll get back on the call. I think there's value though of saying like, look, so we do 4K plus 3K, like look, it's 7K. And then obviously, I don't know, I'm trying to think what I'm, do you know what I
No,
mean?
just keep it simple, bro. Like, look, I just want you to just action is the most important thing here, bro. I don't need you
So
to
if basically don't change anything else other than just saying it's 4K instead of 2K.
4K, add the spokesperson and the ad spend for below 10K. If above 10K, you do the same thing. You can add sales and charge at 6 or 7K. I recommend closing at the lower price points first. Get, 5 to 10 people in and then increase to 5K so that you can just tell yourself it's okay.
But I'm still also including like the monthly retention of like using our team.
After. Yeah, 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 yeah. And you can, um, how much does it cost you for the monthly management. Are you
So like
happy with
right,
1K? Are you happy with 1K a month?
yeah. Because like low level ad spend, like we're just doing weekly reports and changes every 7 days. So like the actual, I have one guy that his whole job is to work on optimizing the ads and
Yeah, then
sending the
this is a
report.
no-brainer offer, bro, because the monthly is so low. Like I could even drop it to 1500 or 2K. Like it's a no-brainer, bro. But
Yeah,
you can collect more in the front end, 100%. And then if they need payment plans, then just like what you're doing, 4K plus whatever the fuck the
it'll be
it
seven.
becomes,
Yeah,
seven, divide that by whatever it becomes, three
four,
or
seven
four.
divided by four.
There
What's
you
that?
go. That's like two and a half or whatever, and they should be able to do that. And if they can't do it, they're
What
not the client for you.
1.75? Yeah.
Yeah, if they can't do that, that's not someone you want to have in your team anyway. So move on.
Yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
if I can, and the way I look at that is like, if I close 19 people at 2K, bro, I'm happy to do 10 people at fucking 4K. Like,
The thing is, bro, you will see that because if someone's laughing at your pricing, the thing is, pricing does not reduce the number of people you sign. That's the funny thing. That's why,
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't actually really because you've got a good sales, and if it does slightly, then we'll talk about the sales process and make sure that it's better so
Well,
that
I think as long as I can break it down and be like, cool, so we can just break it up. Like, we can do
yeah,
2K
like
today, the 2K in 14 days, like
it's
after systems
very
built.
it's very straightforward, man. Like, yeah, you're in a fucking huge. You can fucking run this up to 100K a month pretty straightforwardly, bro.
And that's what I was thinking earlier is like, if I want to get 100K a month, then I got to trying to shit. That's like 40 clients a month. You know what I mean? Like,
If you don't increase the prices, right?
yeah. So if I had four, if it was 4K, what's that? What's 100 divided by four?
25,
Yeah. I mean, I could,
and that's six more than what you did last month.
yeah,
It's not that bad.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll see.
that's if you want that.
I mean, I just want consistency. I think the last couple of years of doing it, I've had some really fucking good months where I've made loads of profit.
Yeah.
I've also had some really bad months where I've made lots of not profit. So,
So yeah, then
um,
just focus on the small changes and just building that confidence. You'll be
yeah.
happy from there. Yeah.
And quick question. So I know we've run over time, so
Got it.
appreciate
Yeah.
you don't have a call, do you?
I do. I pushed it back slightly, but if you run it through quickly, we can go through that.
So Elizabeth is changing her like obviously script, which is fine. Now we also created out like I created out with her like a behavior and like basically like a breakdown. So like we give like a score sheet of each lead that is coming on my calendar.
Hmm.
To give me an idea of like what the urgency is, what their awareness is, what the 3 to 6 month goal is, like all of that shit, right? I can send you the link. It doesn't really matter. So what matters is she had somebody yesterday who she put on my calendar for today.
Hmm.
Now, this person was super focused on the paper close. And then I got a message from the person today saying, "Hey, I'm going to cancel my call. I'd like to give you a heads up. I'd like to cancel the call. The ad I responded to promote paper close. The best party pays for a small percentage of the gross profits. In my call with Elizabeth, when I asked about this, she told me that only a small percentage are really aligned for this model as it requires ads that are
Yeah,
already
well,
working.
I understand
So
what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. So then she said, I don't, it's bait and switch, da 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 da. So then Elizabeth was basically like, well, what the fuck do I say? And my whole thing to Elizabeth was, this is why I wouldn't define the qualification on the call because no value's been shared. We have to remember we closed 32% last month. Therefore, don't change too much of what you did last month.
Yeah.
You need to be stricter on the questions you ask rather than the answers you give.
Yeah.
And then she was basically like, yep, she kept asking to deep dive into specifics. Usually I'd never go into details, but I feel like if I didn't, she wasn't sold on going on a call with you. I gave an overview of
That's
the other
fair.
option, which she seemed to understand and was keen on getting a call with you, but obviously she's rethinked it and now decided against it.
That's fair.
But so, but do you know what I mean? Like, if of course, if she's like, oh, paper clothes is only for doing 10K a month in ads, everyone's just going to be like, yeah, fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no value. Like, I know when I get on a call with somebody, I'm like, look, what you got going on is fucked. You ain't going. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually show them like regardless of if you go with me or not, you got some serious problems that need fixing.
Hmm.
Like, I'm honest with them. I say, look, you can't be doing like this. This isn't gonna work. I actually try and share value because then they're like, oh, this guy gets it, right?
Mm.
So I know if that Alex person was told like James, I don't know where the line is. Like, does Elizabeth share how much information, like how much specifics should she dive into? And if someone's really pushy to say like, look, I don't have the specifics to give you anyway. So like, do you know, or is it just a matter of she's just a bad lead and that's
It's one
my energy?
person, bro. Like, just fucking
Yeah.
ignore it, man. Like, genuinely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that Elizabeth is
You've
basically
got
like
100
overthinking it.
people, you tell me. If one, I don't give a shit, you
Yeah,
know?
fair.
Yeah. And you shouldn't either.
I don't. I only care because Elizabeth cares. 'Cause she's like, look, I want to get better. I want
Whatever,
to make
you
sure I'm
will
not.
tell her to just toughen up then and just be like, listen, like, I don't think she did anything bad. Just one person not showing up is not bad. Like, who cares? Move on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I also did say that this person was. I know they want to go everyone's okay, but yeah. So fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
Elizabeth sounds like I like her. She's doing well. I think she's doing fine.
She's really attentive. She's really like on
That's
top of things, which
perfect.
is
I messaged Segun to give me some fucking people because